This video is on the rational zero theorem, also known as the rational root theorem. This theorem finds possible rational zeros for a polynomial. The first thing that we have to do in order to do rational zero theorem is to perform the rational zero test. And then we're going to test our found zeros with the factor theorem. When you find a zero that passes the factor theorem, you're going to use synthetic division to reduce the polynomial. You're going to repeat these steps as necessary until you break down your polynomial to a quadratic polynomial. At that point, you can either factor or use quadratic formula to break these down to linear factors. So let's look at the zero test now. The rational zero test is if a polynomial f of x has integer coefficients, every rational zero of f has the form p over q, where p is the factor of the constant term and q is the factor of the leading coefficient. So let's show you what this means. So we're going to do the rational zero test on this problem. So we first need our constant, which is 51, and we're not worried about signs with these, and our leading coefficient, which is the number in front of the highest exponent. Our p-value is our, let's look back, our constant, and our q-value is our leading coefficient. So we've got our p-value here and our q-value here. So what we're going to do is list all of the factors of 51, which are 1 and 51, 3, and 17. And all of the factors of our leading coefficient, in this case, is just 1. So we get plus or minus 1 over 1, which just equals plus or minus 1, plus or minus 51 over 1, which just equals plus or minus 51, plus or minus 3 over 1, which just equals plus or minus 3, and plus or minus 17 over 1, which is plus or minus 17. So we have 8 different possible zeros. Positive 1, negative 1, positive 51, negative 51, positive 3, negative 3, positive 17, negative 17. So now we're going to test our zeros, our possible zeros that we found, using the factor theorem. So I'm going to start with my positive 1. So just like we did on factor theorem, and you can go back and review that video, you're going to replace all of the x's in your function with 1. So we've got 1 to the third power minus 53 times 1 squared plus 103 times 1 minus 51. So we get 1 minus 53 plus 103 minus 51. So we get negative 52 plus 103 minus 51, which gives us negative 103 plus 103, which means this is 0. So this is a factor. So x minus 1, because you're going to flip this to put it back, is a factor, and the 0 is x equals positive 1. So once we know that we have a 0, we're going to use synthetic division to simplify. So put my 0 in my box and then use my leading coefficients and my other coefficients to write it out. So x squared is 1, x cubed is 1, x squared, The next one down, the next degree down is negative 53. Next degree down from x squared is x, which is positive 103. The next degree down from that is x to the 0 power, or just your constant, which is negative 51. Using synthetic division, we bring down our first number, multiply by the box, and then add straight down. Multiply by your box, and add straight down. Multiply by your box, and add straight down, and you should get a remainder of 0. So if you don't get a remainder on 0 after we know that our 0 is in fact a 0 from the factor theorem, you did something wrong and you should go back and check. Now we need to write it out. So our first number after our remainder is our constant, then degree increase from there, so then it would go up to x and x squared. So we've got x minus 1, our factor, from the 0x plus 1, times x squared minus 52x plus 51. From here, we've got a quadratic, since the highest degree is 2. And we're going to factor this. So you can use the box-diamond method or FOIL, whichever one you prefer. I'm going to show you the box method. So we've got x squared plus 51. Our adding number is negative 52x. Multiply these together to get our multiply number. That gives me 51x squared. 51x, negative 51x times negative 1x would give me positive 51x squared and would add to be negative 52x. So breaking this apart, we've got x minus 51, x minus 1. So our parentheses here are x minus 1, x minus 1, x minus 51. And this is our factored out version with our zeros. You can write them below if you'd like. For you. Continuing on to example number 2. Same thing again, we're going to do our rational zero test. So factors of our leading coefficient of our q are 1 and 10, 2 and 5. So in the denominator, we could have plus or minus 2, plus or minus 5, plus or minus 1, plus or minus 10. And in our numerator, our p-values, you could have 1 and 12, 2 and 6, 3 and 4. So plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2, plus or minus 3, plus or minus 4, plus or minus 6, plus or minus 12. So there's going to be lots of possibilities here. You could have plus or minus 1 over 2. Plus or minus 2 over 2, which simplifies to be 1. Plus or minus 3 over 2. Plus or minus 4 over 2, which simplifies to be 2. Plus or minus 6 over 2, which simplifies to be 3. Plus or minus 12 over 2, which simplifies to be 6. So we did that. We've got plus or minus 1 over 5, plus or minus 2 over 5, plus or minus 3 over 5, plus or minus 4 over 5, plus or minus 6 over 5, and plus or minus 12 over 5. Did that. Looking here, we've got plus or minus 1 over 1, which is 1, so we already have that documented here, so I'll just rewrite that there. 2 over 1, which is 2, which we already have. 3 over 1, which is 3, which we already have. 6 over 1, which we already have. And 12 over 1, so we're going to add that plus or minus 12 here. And then go on to 10, plus or minus 1 over 10, plus or minus 2 over 10, which is 1/5. So I'll just write that here. Plus or minus 3 over 10. Plus or minus 4 over 10, which is 2/5. Plus or minus 6 over 10, which is 3/5. Plus or minus 12 over 10, which is 6/5. 6/5. So those are all of our possible zeros, and it is a lot, right? There's a lot of options. I would stick with your whole numbers first. So why don't we try the +1 for our zero test? I always start simple. I always start with the ones. So we've got f of 1 equals 10 times 1 cubed minus 15 times 1 squared minus 16 times 1 plus 12, which gives me 10 minus 15 minus 16 plus 12. -5, -22, it's going to be -10. Not a 0. So let's try -1. And I'm going to start to simplify this right away, just for the sake of time. So we've got -10 plus 15, that would be 5, minus 16 plus 12, that would give you -4, which gives you 1, so also not a factor. So let's try x equals 2. 10 times 8 minus 15 times 4 minus 16 times 2 plus 12. So we've got 80 minus 60 minus 32 plus 12 gives me 0. So this is a factor, so this is a starting point for us. And we're going to go on to do synthetic division with x equals 2. So we've got 2 in our box, 10 for my x cubed, -15 for my x squared, -16 for my x, 12 for my number. And bring down our first number, multiply, bring down, multiply, bring down, multiply, bring down. We've got 10x squared plus 5x minus 6. And we're going to simplify this with quadratic formula. So we've got -b plus or minus the square root, b squared minus 4ac, all over 2a. If you're not 100% with this, check my quadratic formula videos. So we've got -5 plus or minus the square root of 25 minus 4 times 10 times -6, all over 20. 25 minus 4 times 10 times 6, 265, so the square root of 265. So we've got -5 plus or minus 16.28, we'll round that over 20. So if we simplify this, we get 0.56. We've got an x at 0.56 about, and an x at 1.06, and our x at 2. And that is our answer.